So there's a lot of language out there. There's a lot of individuals out there that are very much swaying on the positive side of stuff and very much on the negative side of stuff. Not from a political standpoint or anything like that, but just like my business is going to fail this, my business is going to succeed that. How do you, as a leader in the community, try to encourage people to stay on the positive side instead of getting stuck in what could be a self-fulfilling prophecy from the negative side of it?
You know how many conversations I've had recently about the silver lining? This everyone has a silver lining from this, and I do too. Yes, I mentioned my business right now is sort of on pause, but I'm okay for a bit. But the silver lining of this is that I have started some hobbies again. I've been painting again. I've been working out again. When I go back to after the pandemic, I'm not going to work as many hours. I'm going to enjoy. And damn it. I'm really going to get out and enjoy nature and do some of the things that I've now adopted. And so that's what I kind of tell people, that they need to look for the silver lining in what's going on. And I know a lot of people kind of say, well, there's not much silver lining. I'm about to lose my business. That's a tough one. And I've heard a few people say that, but they're limping along. They're, whatever encouragement I can give, they're still in there trying to make it work. So this is going to go away.
When you hear someone that's going to lose their business, do you, and not to name a specific business or anything, but do you feel like they're being creative or innovative enough so that they are actually exhausting every effort? Or do you think that they're staying in hard times? And let me give you a little bit of backstory and context of where I'm going with this comment. So to me, it seems like a lot of what we're going through right now is a bell curve. It is people that are being forced, that were on the third and fourth quadrant of a bell curve, into kind of new age ways and haven't innovated the ways from the past. And now they're still trying to get that old thing to stay relevant and to stay afloat, even though this is an opportunity to, or maybe not an opportunity, but they're being forced into doing something new. Do you feel like there's a lot of people out there that are just sticking in the old ways? Like there's, you're hearing a lot of restaurants, I can't be open. And then you're hearing other restaurants that are like, I'm going to do whatever I can to make money during these times, getting super creative on all that. So like, where do you think that is in the whole spectrum of, are they exhausting every effort?
Well, you said it a second ago. There are people in the positive and there are people that are in the negative about this. And I think sometimes it says a little bit about their personality. I am somebody who always looks for the silver lining. And I think there are people who it's woe is me and it's always going to be woe is me. So you're absolutely right. I think there are people who their business isn't doing well. They just can't seem to get over that. I've got to come up with something creative. But then I've seen the people who are sort of on the positive side who have come up with some really creative ideas to keep their business going. So you're absolutely right about that, Zach. There are the positive and the negative, and sometimes it's just a personality trait that's hard to change.
To me, that's, hanging out with a lot of positive other people as well. Get all the negative Nancys out of the way and the negative Nicks out of the way. But then also there's these opportunities I see as from an internet perspective, and a lot of this where people could be making a lot more recurring revenue if they were to just adopt some of these new practices. So you see a lot of fitness, I don't think the word's guru, but these fitness instructors who are now doing stuff online when it's not like online selling is a new thing, right? I mean, you worked at Pilot Media for how many years, and when they started talking about online stuff, and that was a long time ago. And so some people move with it and some people don't. And so those that are getting into the world of online, I mean, there's a lot more money from a recurring standpoint that can be made in that kind of way for people that are jumping on board with it. And for those that are waiting for the old to come back, I don't know that it's going to, and I don't know that they should be waiting for that thing to come back.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Tim?
No, I agree as well. And we've talked about this several times on previous shows. It's a grind. You got to continue to grind through it, start new things, be positive. And, yeah, you can get in a real negative space if because it's going to take repetition. You got to do things long enough to know if it's going to work or not.
There's like a glacier of entrepreneurship. There's this picture, this graphic that I've seen. I've probably seen it 10 years ago, but I've seen it a couple times recently, where it shows you like the world and what you see. And then like underneath of it is like all these other things that you have to go through. It's basically the roller coaster of entrepreneurship, right? And it's not as glorious as everyone thinks. And so it's kind of like that. So